Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm walking down the aisle to this TikTok wedding drama.
I do not like this wedding dress.
You look like this.
Did anybody else see this video?
That would be so lame. Oh my God, can you imagine? Good morning from me and my gigantic zit. Stop staring at it, stop it. I popped it. All right, we got some pretty controversial wedding drama to start today's video off. And by controversial, we need to discuss whether or not we like this dress.
I have been a bridal creator for 4 years now, and I have never said this before, but I do not like this wedding dress. Olivia Culpo just got married, and this is a great example of how fashion is so much more than just what you see on the surface. When you see fashion, especially wedding dresses discussed on social media, you usually just end up hearing about whether or not the person talking likes the way that it looks, which is extremely subjective. Like this dress, for example, if I were to just look at the dress, I would see a beautiful bride in a beautiful, simple, elegant dress. If we stopped there at just the way the dress looks, we'd really have nothing to say. But it's all the stuff surrounding the dress that leaves kind of a bitter aftertaste.
Okay, so Olivia Culpo got married and she did like a spread for Vogue and she wore this dress and she did a feature in Vogue where she talked about how she didn't want to sexualize herself at her wedding and she wanted it to be very elegant and understated, which I think she definitely achieved. Honestly, she looks stunning. I really don't mind the modest bride look. I think it's very, very beautiful. However, we don't need to be a modest bride while also shaming other brides for their choices, okay? We also need to be okay with people having their opinions.
Christian McCaffrey and Olivia Culpo are slamming an influencer for criticizing Olivia's wedding dress. Hey there, it's Charlie from TMZ. So a content creator called The Gown-Eyed Girl who posts bridal opinions posted a review about Olivia Culpo's wedding dress. And she said the dress had, quote, the absence of personality. And she also said, quote, really the only thing about the dress is that it seems like she really wanted to be head to toe fully covered. The review did not sit well with Olivia or Christian. They both posted saying that the content creator is an evil person and that tearing apart the dress was extremely hurtful. And Olivia even said that the dress was everything she wanted and more. The influencer has since responded saying that she's standing by her review and that she's got her own wedding to focus on.
I mean, I didn't mind it. I really didn't mind it at all, actually. Yes, it is very simple, but I don't mind it. I also really like the veil as an addition to it. I really do. I honestly, your wedding, your choice. If this is what you want to wear, by all means, go right ahead. But the thing is you're doing a spread in Vogue and unfortunately people are gonna have their opinions about it and writing this, wow, what an absolutely evil person you are. I hope no one ever tears you apart this way because it's extremely hurtful. I love this dress. It was everything I wanted and more. And her husband commented, what an evil thing to post online. I hope you can find joy and peace in the world the way my beautiful wife does. I mean, we're not going to play the whole review. We're just not going to do that. It's 6 minutes long. It's just this one influencer's opinion. I didn't really think that it was evil. She was sharing her opinion. She was pointing out, you don't have to, shame other brides for their choices when explaining why you made your choice, you know? And the irony is, this is what she wore to the after party.
Yes. I would say my second favorite next to my ceremony dress, which will be the most important dress I've ever worn in my entire life, is the after party dress. It's so unique. I'm a little teapot.
Kind of goes against what she said.
So if I have a nice stool, yeah. It's okay. I'm not gonna be sitting, I'm gonna be dancing. Our engagement party was about a year ago, and everyone was shocked to see how great Christian was at dancing.
It's why do we want to be so covered up for the wedding itself, and then for the after party, we're wearing basically a bathing suit? You know what I'm saying? Kind of contradicting itself. So yeah, there's lots of drama surrounding how Olivia responded. There's also a lot of people who really don't like the dress.
Because baby, they could never make me hate Gown-Eyed Girl. They could never make me hate Gown-Eyed Girl. Her critique was so spot on, and if that's evil, then I want to be evil too. No, but in all seriousness, as someone who has survived multiple cults, please don't ask, I'm quite familiar with the terminology, and it's very interesting the words that Olivia used to describe her wedding dress. And look, if this is the wedding dress that she loves, and she looks gorgeous, no one's saying that she doesn't, if this is the wedding dress that she loves, she felt confident in, she felt like a bride. That's the most important part. You know, you want to make sure you feel like a bride. If this is what she loves, then great. That's fine. But You are a public figure, and people are going to point out that you partnered with a problematic design house, and the way you describe your wedding
Dolce
dress
& Gabbana.
and why you chose it is very problematic. And if someone calling that out in a relatively kind way, she didn't say, oh, you're the ugliest I've ever seen, but if someone calling that out and it's directly relevant to their brand and their platform, because Gown Eyed Girl, literally her whole thing is wedding dresses. It makes perfect sense that she made a video about this. If that's evil, then what is you partnering with a racist and homophobic design house? Is that not evil? Is that not gross? Is that not? I mean, like, if you, I hate to be one of those, but if you loved your wedding dress that much, if you were so confident and you're so confident in your choices, then you don't really care what Gown Eyed Girl has to say.
That's what's up.
But here you are, calling her evil and whining and trying to tell us that you did not have a brow lamination and you did not have lash extensions or a lash lift when we literally saw the video. You have makeup on. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, did she say she didn't have makeup on too? Oh, dear Lord. Oh, God. Like, it's giving pick me. Like, it's giving,
I don't wear makeup. I'm just naturally this beautiful.
me and my small hands could never. My hands are just so tiny. Relax. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Not wearing mascara, no eyebrow pencil, no lip liner. Oh, my God. This is literally what I said.
Partnered with Vogue to cover their wedding. And I'm not going to lie, when I read the article talking about her wedding makeup, I got pick me vibes immediately. Don't get me wrong, I love Olivia Culpo, but the fact that Vogue had to go in detail and say that Olivia Culpo is not wearing any mascara, no makeup on her eyebrows, and no lip liner, like, just gave me pick me vibes. I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna need Vogue to be astronomically for real right now, because we know Olivia Culpo has a lash lift. Like, please zoom in. The lashes are lifting. So obviously she's not going to be wearing any mascara. And then if you look at her lips, there is something on her lips, either like a lip blush, a lipstick. Like, I don't care that she is not wearing lip liner. Like, be so for real. The fact that they pointed out that she doesn't have anything on her eyebrows, like an eyebrow pencil. I'm like, okay, maybe that one is real. But for Vogue to even point these things out just gave me such weird vibes, because obviously Olivia Culpo did something in order to not wear mascara, in order to not wear a lip liner, in order to not wear a pencil on her eyebrows. Be so for real, Vogue. Like, stop being a pick-me.
Woo! All right, we had the same read on that situation, I see. It is giving pick me. It's like, okay, great, you didn't wear makeup. But it's also giving,
Yeah, I didn't wear makeup because I'm just so pretty.
you are so pretty, but like, okay, we don't need to shame other people for their choices too.
I'm better than you because I didn't wear makeup to my wedding.
Oh, she responded. It was an interview. They asked me what my makeup was. I didn't need mascara. I have lash extensions and a lash lift. Would not have been hard. Oh man, she's fighting for her life in these comments. To be fair, like, I really feel like she was really excited to show everybody her dress, and like, a lot of people didn't like it and didn't like how she presented her choices. I think she's just a little bit butthurt that not everybody was on her side. I just think, like, why make a big deal about it to begin with? Like, you know, it's the added commentary that gives people something to say in response. Because by saying what your choices are, you're also cutting down other women's choices.
Women are up in arms over this bride's wedding dress. Olivia
They are.
Culpo,
They're
arguably
upset.
one of the most beautiful women alive, married Christian McCaffrey last week in a custom gown designed by Dolce & Gabbana. And here's one of the most viral responses that sums up the internet's reaction.
I do not like this wedding dress. First of all, she says, I didn't want to exude sex in any way. The second thing she says is she wanted the dress to be as serious as she takes the covenant of marriage. She even says that her husband thinks she's the most beautiful when she's timeless, covered, and elegant. I just think the usage of the word covered is so icky. It's very clear that this was not a wedding. This was a conservative campaign.
I'm sorry, but what's wrong with taking your wedding day and using it to send a message about what you believe marriage and a wedding is all about? To be honest, this reaction just feels like a bunch of women tearing down Olivia because they're jealous of her natural beauty. Let's be real, this girl doesn't need accessories. She doesn't need cleavage or glitter. Her beauty in itself is the accessory. And y'all probably wish you could be that simple. Here's a woman wearing a dress she believes most accurately represents the covenant she's about to enter into with her partner. And this girl's reaction is essentially, I can't believe you're trying to take this away from women. Girls really do think the wedding day is all about them.
All right, there's another take. Ooh, she checked me. Okay, but no, for real though. Like I said, I like the dress. Okay, I do. It's not really about the dress per se for me. It's the comments around it, you know? Everything surrounding the dress. But like, what do you guys think? Do we like the dress? I just think that she's so pretty that she could wear whatever. Yeah, like she's literally so pretty that she could probably wear absolutely anything and do it justice. But I'm curious to know, what do you guys think of that dress?
Imagine delivering photos to us of the night before our welcome party. Like this, okay? Like this. But then get delivered photos of your wedding day and you look like this. Like, can someone explain to me what this is?
A photograph, noun, a picture made using a camera, in which an image is focused onto film or other light-sensitive material.
And like, love this photo, but why are we like full sepia tones? Why do I kind of look like I have like a little bit of a bruise on my face when it's supposed to be like contour and blush? And then why is the sky gray? I mean, it was overcast a little bit, but at the same time, it wasn't that gray. And the ocean is gray. And then I also sent her this image where, if you could tell, my dad's eyes are like this and Mike's eyes is like this. Every image that is shot in this moment, everyone's eyes are squinty like this. Like, if it's too sunny, change our location. And let me give you another example. This was someone took this picture on their iPhone, but look how gorgeous the color of my mom's dress is, okay? It's this beautiful pink, stunning. And this is the color that she turned it into. It's gorgeous, it's fine, but she wasn't wearing coral. You know what I mean? Like, why change this, why put your edits to change the entire, like, coloring of things? I don't understand. I don't know if you're curious. There's an ocean there. That is an ocean. But no, it looks gray. When in reality, this was the coloring. Okay? This was the coloring of the ocean, of the sky shot on iPhone. Like, you see the sepia, right? It's full sepia tone. This was reality. This was reality.
Headline, bride discovers filters. Like, what do you mean? Okay, listen, if you don't like certain filters, you can ask the photographer to remove them, you know? Like, there's things you can do to like isolate, let's say, the ocean. I mean, it was overcast, so unfortunately there's not a lot you can do if there's overcast because the ocean reflects off of the sky. The ocean is blue because the sky is blue, okay? So there's things you can do to like add some color back in, possibly, but don't go on TikTok and talk about the photographer. What she's doing is she's batch editing because there are thousands of photos. You come away from a wedding as a photographer with literally thousands of photos, okay? They batch edit, they put a filter, usually something that either they've bought or they've created themselves, which by the way should be in their portfolio, and you would have seen this when you booked the photographer. And they slap a filter on all of them and then they kind of like tweak as they go along. If you want something specific, like let's say you see this photo, you love it, you're like, you know, I really like this photo, but like, is it possible to make the ocean a little more blue? You just ask them. You don't go on TikTok and you talk about them. I think these are great photos. Like, honestly, did you pull something reaching that hard? Imagine hiring a wedding photographer who has a warm as portfolio and getting mad your images are warm as literally. Sepia tones are very common. Like, the warmth in these photos is very common. I am also looking at a wedding photographer, which is crazy, who has sepia tones. And that's why I like it, because everything seems really warm. Everything feels like it's at golden hour. I like that. It also makes my red hair look more red, so. But like, it's in her portfolio. It's in her past work. You shouldn't be surprised that that's how they turned out. I'm very familiar with your photographer, and I personally think the editing is very on par with her portfolio. She's known for these warm edits. In my opinion, half of them seem like portfolio and half don't. Plus, her customer experience after was just awful. If a bride isn't happy, you should make sure that the happiest day of their life is exactly that. Yes, I agree with you. I don't know what the conversation is like. I don't know how you were to her either. But the fact that you're going online and about it, like, I don't know. Everybody who works on a wedding, including a photographer, has to make sure that the bride and the groom are happy with the outcome, okay? Photographers are expensive. I'll give her that. I don't know why she's surprised that the photos turned out the way they did. Like, they're beautiful pictures. Like, I don't... They're actually beautiful pictures. I love this photo of her and her parents. Like, I love them. Oh God, there's more. Oh God, we have an update. I'm also a wedding photographer and agree with you. You can find the photographer's Instagram on her Instagram. And it's obvious this is her editing style on all of her work.
Whether or not her Instagram is showing that it's her editing style or not, okay? This photo over here with my eyes sunken in and I look like I have a black eye. Please explain to me how a photographer thought that looks good. Once I got the raw image, I turned it into this, okay, myself. I even had to go into Photoshop, and I'm not a photographer, and I'm not good at Photoshop either. I learned how to use Photoshop, and I made I circled my eyes, and I made my eyes brighter. It's the simple things like that. There's only maybe 10 pictures of solo bride me, and she couldn't make sure that that my eyes didn't look like I got punched in like a black eye. You know what I mean? So there is something to do with editing style and versus the Instagram. However, there's also something about delivering photos to your customer that makes sure that specific person looks good. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look like she has a black eye. And look, at the end of the day, I made a mistake. I regret working with her. And I'm warning people to not work with her because of the experience that she gave me afterwards. That's not to discredit the fact that she took beautiful photos, but the post-edit work, not my thing, and it just, she's bad business practice on her end with the way that she treated me afterwards. But that's something I have to live with on my special wedding day, okay? I have to live with that I hired the wrong photographer at the end of the day. Plus, I did give her a whole Pinterest board. If she said, that doesn't look like my editing style, and I gave her the Pinterest board before I signed the contract. If she would have said, that's not really the style that I like, that I edit or whatever, she could have also very well said that, but no, she was money hungry and just wanted the money for the wedding.
Okay, so I agree with you on this point, okay? Photographers should accommodate, especially with regards to portraits, bridal portraits. If you don't like the shadows on your face, it's an easy fix. It really is. So the fact that she wouldn't do that for you is an issue. But I mean, your previous review just made it seem like you had no idea like what a filter looks like and you didn't like the warmth. That's a completely different issue than like not liking the way that a portrait turned out. Because yes, she probably batch edited, the photographer did, and didn't go in and like alter specific things like that are important, like making sure that the bride's face is lit up, making sure like the eyes are popping. Like this is just something that photographers should be doing. I agree with you on this part. I don't agree with booking a photographer and being mad that their tones are not the color that you wanted. The details could have been better. The coloring, however, I mean, it surprises me that you're surprised.
Did anybody else see this video where the bride was unhappy with her wedding photos? She liked her photos, but really did not like the way the photographer edited them, felt like they were too warm and made everything sort of sepia toned and like, you know, altered the color of the sky and of her complexion and of her teeth even. And for those who are freaking out, there's just some really interesting takeaways. You know how when you go outside and you put your sunglasses on, everything sort of looks sepia for the first few seconds, but then your eyes adjust to it because that's what our eyes do. They're seeing the colors in relationship to one another. When you're looking at photographers' work, say you're sort of looking at their work in their world and you're looking at their photos in relationship to one another. And sometimes you're not looking at them without the context of the branding or the website. So it's very hard to perceive like whether we actually like the coloring of the photos or whether like separated out from everything else, like when they come back, when there are wedding photos, whether we will like them or not. A good exercise when you're shopping around for photographers is to like take one of their photos from Pinterest or something and like kind of put it next to some of the other things that you love, some of the images that you already love. Does it feel true enough to life to me? That might help give you a better baseline. Things get kind of nasty in this situation. The bride ultimately like pushed the photographer, like, I just want the raws, like I'm super unhappy with my photos. And the photographer I mean, I'm only hearing one side of the story, but the photographer sounds like she's not relenting. She wants $4,000 for the raws or whatever. Also think that's super interesting. I don't like going through my hard drives to find extra pictures for you. I don't like turning color photos into black and white or black and white into, like, I don't enjoy doing that, but I do it every time.
Yeah.
I never push back on people
Totally.
because I just want you to love your photos. I'm wrapped up in their
Totally.
egos of like, this is my art, this is my craft. Like, this is somebody's wedding.
Totally.
Like, be for real. If you want to go make art, go make art. Don't hold people's memories hostage because you want to like maintain your own brand or whatever. It's weird, but I don't know the rest of the scenario.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with her. Like if back in the day when I was doing portraits, if someone, you know, was like, oh, my teeth are a little yellow in this, like, would you mind like fixing that? You do it. Like, I'm sorry, but you do it. You might be a little annoyed about it, but like you still do it. And personally, I would make sure a photo looked so perfect that there was very little room for someone to be unhappy with it. So I agree with the bride that if she wanted something specific for her photos, the photographer should have just made sure she was happy. But if she came in with the,
I don't understand why they're this color.
that's not uncommon, okay? That's not uncommon. If it was an overcast day, that's probably how she saved a lot of the photos from looking flat. She made them look like it was a sunny day. There's thought behind it. I personally like that. Oh God, I wish I could show you guys the wedding photographer I booked. Oh, it's so pretty. It's exactly that. Like it's exactly that.
When the bride and photographer show up in the same dress for the rehearsal dinner.
Oh. I mean, what are the chances realistically? However, seeing as it's yellow, I think the photographer's okay. Like, it's a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I'm surprised the photographer's wearing anything but black, usually. Usually they wear just like a black plain outfit. But like, truthfully, it's not a white dress. It's just a really happy accident. I don't think it's the photographer's fault. She wasn't wearing yellow and it's an appropriate dress for a rehearsal dinner. It is. It definitely is. Okay, they're friends. Okay, makes sense. That's why she's wearing a nice dress and not, you know, like a photographer outfit. As a photographer, I would excuse myself for 15 minutes and buy a new dress. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at her if I were the bride, but it's also a little bit awkward. Like, you know, it's also funny. I mean, it just depends on if you care or not, or meh. Okay, the bride is not mad. She's not mad. Thank God. All right, I want to know your thoughts on all this wedding drama. Tell me. Tell me. And don't hold back. This is